Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Chase of Rocky Mountain ATV, and today we have the Leatt mountain bike shoes we offer. We're going to help you decide which set is best for you. All right, everyone, thank you so much for checking in. So like I said in the intro, today we're here to help you out and decide what shoe from Leatt might be best for you. We've got the 2 and the 3.0 flats, and then we have the 5 and the 6.0 clip. And I will talk about the difference between flat and clips and some of the pros and cons because I've ridden them both. And we'll kind of talk about that, and I'll help you decide which one might be best for you if you're not quite sure which one you think is going to be best. And then ultimately help you decide, between a flat, between the 3 and the 2.0 or the 2 clips, which one do you want? So that being said, we're going to start out the 2 and the 3.0 flats. The 2.0 starts out about $100, then the 3.0 is about $120. Now here's the first thing I do want to get out of the way, because a lot of people ask this question. They'll say, well, hey, why do I want an actual mountain biking shoe versus, say, just a skateboarding shoe or a shoe that has a lot of grip on the sole? Why would I need to go buy a separate pair of shoes just for mountain biking? And here's really the big thing that you're investing with a mountain bike specific shoe. First of all is the stiffness of the sole. So this 2.0 has a soft to medium flex in the sole. And trust me, this is a heck of a lot stiffer than just your average Vans skateboarding shoe. I know those shoes have a lot of grip, but here's why you might want to look at getting this shoe that does have a stiffer sole. Because one, when it just comes to pedaling, if you're an enduro rider and you're going to be pedaling a lot uphill, you get a lot more efficiency with your pedaling when you have a stiffer sole because you don't have so much give and so much flex to it. The other big benefit to a shoe like this is on the downhills. A lot of people probably experience this. If you have a sole that has too much flex and you're doing some pretty nasty riding, your feet are going to start to feel that. Your feet can get sore at the end of the day, so having a stiffer sole is really going to help with that. And that's why all of these shoes, they get stiffer as you work your way up the lineup, but there is a shank that goes about halfway up in the sole to give a lot of that stability and that support. So that's why a lot of people buy a mountain bike specific shoe versus just a skate shoe that you might already have. That being said, let's talk about some of the features that you're getting with the 2 and the 3.0 from Leatt. So the sole, it's a ride grip sole. It's a very grippy compound. Like I said, I've used their flat pedal or their flat shoes before on my pedals that I have, and the grip for me I think is really good. It's more of a waffle design. And with that, what I like is that your pins on your pedals can really dig into these waffles and just adds a lot of grip. So I like that aspect. Also, another little feature you're not going to get on just a regular shoe is here in the toe box, you can see they have this TPU over this piece here, but it is much more reinforced than a regular shoe, so impact protection there. And then on the back, you've got a reinforced heel cup as well, so you're getting more protection for your feet on top of that. Also, what I do like about the 2.0, just my own personal opinion, I like the look of it. It's a simple looking shoe. I like that. It's a shoe that you could just wear casually if you wanted to. You might not want to walk all day in these because, trust me, like I said, the sole is quite a bit stiffer, but if you're going to go for a ride, then maybe go see a movie or go get something to eat afterwards, this is a shoe that you could easily wear out and do that. So that's one aspect I do like about the 2.0. Moving up to the 3.0. So the 3.0, like I said, you jump up to about $120. Here's the big differences though. So it's the same sole compound, but the sole on this is a medium to hard sole. So it's even stiffer than the 2.0. And this is really going to come down to rider preference. If you're going at really high speeds, maybe doing bigger jumps, slamming those downhills, or you're looking for the most pedaling efficiency possible, then yeah, you might want to get a stiffer sole with the 3.0. But also, some other notable changes here. You now go from a low top shoe into what I would consider a mid top. And another cool feature about this that's pretty unique that I haven't seen other companies doing is Leatt on the inside here, they raise up this portion. And this is extra padding right here. So you're getting extra padding for the inside of the ankle. So, if you're riding flats, on flats, your feet tend to move a little bit more. So if you've ever smacked the inside of your ankle, just as well as I do, it sucks. So they give you this extra height right here for some extra padding for reinforcement. Again, you got the same thing though. You've got the reinforced toe cup as well as the heel cup. The big difference though, a little bit taller, you've got the extra padding right there on the inside, and it is a stiffer sole. Now moving on from these two, we jump up to the 5.0 and the 6.0 clips. And before we talk about these and the differences between them, let's just talk about the difference and some of the pros and cons of flats versus clips. Now, I'm going to say this right now. A lot of times you'll hear the word clipless for this type of shoe, and it can confuse some people because you say, well, are they clip-ins or clipless? Because clipless doesn't sound like it makes any sense. The reason that they're called clipless is because back in the day, if you're old enough, you know what I'm talking about. They used to have baskets that would go on the pedals for riders. Those were called clips. And when they got rid of those and went to this style of shoe, they called it clipless. So just know that clipless, clip-ins, clip shoes, we're talking about the same thing there. But here's some of the pros and cons of each. The reason that a lot of riders, including myself, will use a clip style shoe is not necessarily for the pedaling efficiency. In fact, they've done studies that I've read where there's not really a whole lot of difference in how much energy you get, or how much more energy or efficiency you get pedaling with a clip shoe. It's more about the downhill. When you're going down rough, rocky terrain or you're going at higher speeds, what I like about a shoe with a clip is that you're locked into the bike and your feet don't move. With a flat pedal or a flat shoe, even though they are very grippy, you still tend to get your feet bouncing and moving around a little bit when you're going down trails, and then you have to kind of focus on your feet and repositioning those. Rather with a clip shoe, because you're locked into the bike, they stay super planted to the ground and you can focus on your body position and your riding. You don't have to worry about that. Now it does take a little bit of getting used to, but overall, I'm a big fan of a clip shoe for those reasons. Now there are some cons and some drawbacks to a clip shoe. One is just price. They are going to be more expensive than most of your just flat shoes. But also, it's a little bit of a learning curve because when you first get into a clip shoe, you clip it into your pedals. It's happened to me. When I was first riding with these, yes, there was times where I went to take my foot off the pedal and I literally just fell over because I wasn't used, I didn't have that muscle memory to unclip the correct way. But once you ride enough and you get used to it, I don't even think about it when I want to take my foot off the pedals. As long as you just do the correct motion, your feet pop out super easily. But also, another what you could say con is that in the event that you do go down, or if maybe you're doing some jumping, it's not like you can just jump off the bike because you are clipped in. So there could be a time where you're crashing, you're going down, the bike's still stuck to you, or if you're jumping and you're trying to get your feet off because something's going bad, well, you're stuck to the bike. What I like to do is actually, I have a pair of flats, I also have the clips. I'll actually switch back and forth sometimes just depending on what type of riding that I'm going to be doing that day. So with that being said, those are some of the pros and cons of each. You as the rider, though, ultimately have to decide what you think is going to be best for you. Now, let's talk about the 5.0 and the 6.0, some of the differences between these to help you decide which one of those two you want if you are looking at a clip shoe. So starting with the 5.0, so first and foremost, these things are stiff. They are stiffer than the 3.0, and with a clip shoe, you are going to get the most efficiency while pedaling because they are going to have the stiffer sole. So again, if you're going to be doing a lot of pedaling, if you're doing a lot of uphill, that's another benefactor is super stiff sole, good efficiency. However, might not be the best if you're going to be off the bike walking a lot because they are such a stiff sole. But what I like about the 5.0 is that it's a 3-layer construction, and they actually say it's waterproof. So if you ride in, say, the Pacific Northwest or an area where you get a lot of moisture, a lot of rain, and you want a shoe where your foot's not going to get soaking wet as easily, then the 5.0 could be a really good shoe. Also, they have the speed lace system on here, which I actually really like. I like it more than just regular shoelaces. When you put it on, you pull that sucker tight, slide this plastic clip down, gets everything nice and secure, and then you have this strap on top that you can use to cinch everything down. When you look at the bottom here, like I said, so when you buy your pedals, again, if you're new to this, any set of pedals that you buy, if they are clip pedals, and it doesn't matter if it's Shimano, Crank Brothers, or another brand, they will come with the cleats that you'll install right here in the bottom of the shoe. So just know that it won't come with those, it will come with your pedals. But what I also like about the 5.0 is that Leatt, this is something kind of cool, they give you a ton of adjustability as far as your forward or back positioning of your cleat when you put that on there. And the reason that I like that is because that does make a difference. If you're an aggressive downhill rider, riders will have the tendency to put the cleat farther back in the shoe or more towards the heel. It promotes a little bit better foot position when you're on those steeper drops and you want to drop your heels. That's what that is for. But if you're doing a lot more pedaling, maybe more cross country, not doing as, those really steep descents, then you can move the cleats farther forward, and it gives you a little bit better pedaling efficiency, and they give you a lot of adjustability there, which I really like. Also, it is the same grip material as we have the 2.0 and the 3.0. So if you have a pedal that does have some cleats on there or some pins, you get some added grip around the outside of that as well. Moving on to the 6.0. Now the price point on the 6.0, you're going to be right about $150. With the 5.0, you're about $140. And here's what I like about these. This is one of the clip shoes from Leatt that I've ridden in. And instead of having their speed lace system, now you actually have their A-top, which is kind of like BOA. So you just have this dial right here. So you can easily open this thing up when you need to get it on, and then you just start to twist this, and it cinches everything down. So I've used this system. I think it works well. One aspect about these that I also do like is that in the heel, they actually have this material that's kind of almost directional one way, and it just kind of helps to lock the heel into place so it doesn't want to lift up. So, but some other noticeable difference with the 6.0. You can see it's not going to be waterproof like the 5.0. It's a much more breathable construction. So again, warmer temperatures, if you want a shoe that's going to breathe better, 6.0 I would say is going to be the one for you. They both have the reinforcement in the toe and the heel cup as well. But another notable difference too is that with the sole on the 6.0, you can see it's a lug sole design. So a little bit more grip if you're off the bike, if you're walking around. And I do want to point out too that the 6.0 is a little bit more trail, I'd say cross-country oriented, simply because first of all, they don't give you as much adjustability where your clip is going to go, or your cleat, excuse me. So not as much there. And the sole on this is even stiffer than the 5.0. So with that lug sole, a little bit less adjustment, a little bit more trail oriented versus steep, aggressive downhill, but you can use them both for that. You're going to be just fine. So that's it. Those are the 4 different shoes from Leatt that we offer. Again, you've got your 2 and your 3.0 flat. You've got your 5 and your 6.0 clip. Hopefully this kind of help you decide or help you know the difference between the two, some of the pros and cons of why you might want one over the other. And then again, if you're looking at these, it'll help you decide which one's going to be best. If you want some more feedback, I am more than happy to give that to you. I would love your feedback. I know there's a lot of people out there that have their own opinions. Do you think flats are better? Do you like clips? You know, what's been your experience? Have you ridden with both? That'll kind of help other people out who are maybe asking those questions and aren't quite sure. To grab your shoes today, click on the link or head over to RockyMountainATVMC.com. We ship for free over $75. I also want to point out we have our fit guarantee. If you buy one of these shoes, since they're an apparel item, if you're not happy with how they fit, if you need to exchange it for a different size, you can send them back in brand new, unused condition. We'll give you free shipping both ways on your first exchange to make sure you get the size and the fit that is going to be best for you. If you like this video, do us a favor, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the Rocky Mountain YouTube channel if you want to see more product spotlights like this for motocross, mountain bike, UTV, all the great content. Get subscribed and check it out. I'm Chase, and we'll see you on the trails.